Hello everyone, this is Turquoise Dragon. I am here to show off a build I've been working on a server. A bit for publicity, but more just to show off what I've been doing. The town is Pandemonium, named after the Palace of the Lord of Hell, and is basically Nether themed, at least in terms of building blocks. Lots of nether brick, some obsidian. Main entrance to the town is a very nice gate I found on YouTube. I did not make this design. I will try to find the link to this and put it in the description if possible. It's made of coal blocks. Fire spread is turned off for the server, at least for the towns, so we don't have to worry about that burning down. Now this is kind of an unfinished area that is underneath the main ground of the castle. I have a lot of plans to do with this, but none of them have worked out as of yet. Let's go above ground and start from there. Now there are three main islands to this castle. One is the main castle itself, one is a more residential district, which really only is my house right now, and the third is just like this interconnecting thing that I was going to build a drawbridge on. So let's start with the main castle first. There are a couple houses scattered around here built by members of my town, some of which have left, some of which are not very active at the moment, but then again the server is also going to be changing over to 1.9 and remaking the entire world, so we're trying to drum up a little activity for that. It's kind of died off a little bit after the decision was made to change the server. Once again, this is not exactly 100% complete. You're going to see a couple builds in progress, some dirt structures that were planned to be built into towers, etc., and a couple places that do not really have interiors. So going across here, we get into a higher level of the castle. There are a couple staircases elsewhere, but I'm just meandering around at this point. Down here is my original gold farm. Nice little water drop, hopefully it will die. Nope, awesome. Yay, killing pigment area, enchanting area, a couple anvils. Fun times. And it was the smallest gold farm on the server for quite a while, and eventually I built a new one, but we will be getting to that in a little while. Just wait for this to go up. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna go a little... Oh, wait. A little chicken cooker that I had developed. There is a hopper with a bunch of chickens in it, feeding this dispenser. There used to be... I'm not sure if it's still around. Nope. There used to be an automatic switch that I could turn on and off to make all the eggs come out, but I took that down a while ago. Ooh, eggs. And another egg. Okay. Another house that was located in the area. One of my friends built this and then later abandoned it when he went and made his own town. Well, he made his own town first, but decided to build a little house here. Never really use it because he has his own town. There's a couple inside passageways that lead to other parts of the castle, giving accessibility, which I wanted to do a lot more of, but again, never got around to this. This isn't 100% complete at this time. I used to have my house up here, still remains of my chest room, and I'm not sure what this was, but it's there. Let's see. It's basically the footprint that my house was. My current house is a bit larger, but built along the same design, so you'll be able to see that. Go up here to the very top of the castle, and then this used to have a couple of food farms and a little storage area in it, which you can still kind of see, but they are no longer active. I have since moved these to a couple other different locations. Okay, this was the original top of the castle. I used to have this as a tree farm, just a bunch of trees growing up here that I'd be chopping down. I've since changed that to being over there because I was also changing a lot of the grass in here to mycelium, just because I kind of felt it went with the whole nether look a little bit nicer, even though mycelium is not a nether block. This is the tallest tower in the castle. I believe it's also the only one that I've really finished. And it goes just about to the build height of the server, which is pretty standard build height, 256 blocks, I believe it was. I might be wrong about that. And just a moment and we will get to the top, I hope. Elevator would have been nice, but it kind of wouldn't fit too much with the whole castle theme, so I really didn't do that. Plus, they take up a lot of resources and a lot of space. All this was built in survival. For the majority of the castle's existence, the nether was disabled, and the only way to obtain all these nether brick was through the spawn market. So I spent a long amount of time in my gold farm gathering up gold and buying a crap load of nether bricks to build this place. Ah, here we are. We are at the top. Now, this isn't quite finished. I never made any real walls because my view distance is a little bit low. You really don't see too much, but you get a bit more of an aesthetic feel with the castle parts kind of disappearing into the mist. A couple of mountains in the background, and we will try to head back down. When I joined the server, it was a PvP server, recently changed over from a PvE server, and it was pretty cool for a little while. There really wasn't too much in terms of raids while people were building things, or general being a jerk. There's the usual PvP, people roaming around trying to have fights. Towns had allied into various nations. Over time, a couple of the players kind of got a little carried away with the PvP, and after losing a couple of players, we've disabled the PvP on this. Talks are still ongoing whether or not the 1.9 server is going to be PvP or PvE, but I kind of get the feeling that more of this community is into a PvE kind of atmosphere, with PvP if both sides agree on it. I, for one, don't really like trying to build something and then someone just randomly sniping with me an arrow or charging at me while I'm trying to make cool creations. That's just me. I can see why some people like the PvP. I do enjoy PvP myself from time to time. And we're back at the bottom. We will try to get back down to the bottom as fast as possible without dying. And I will show you some more stuff. Come on, work. There we go. An old vine farm that I had working, which is still growing vines, but I have not really used it at all. Go this way. This video is also a test video based on if we could get a nice quality recording for a large number of the towns and builds of the server, just to kind of showcase off what the community is capable of, try to drum up a little support and action for the next iteration of the server, which I'm kind of looking forward to. It would be a shame to have lost all my progress here, but you also have the fact that you're getting a brand new server, you can build new ideas, which I've got a couple in my pocket, and I'd like to see how they work out. Alright, Middle Island. I was kind of doing this for aesthetics look, because I like the look of the bridges. Originally, my castle was going to have a number of towers with bridges connecting them around the same sort of design as that bridge right there. Gatehouses that I've never built. This was going to be a drawbridge to allow shipping traffic in and out. At least theoretically, we don't really have any plugins or mods to have massive ships moving around the world. Now I'm going to show you a bit of my house that I made. I built the outside structure completely by myself. One of the other players in the server, Sharnsville, assisted all the interior decorating for me, which she did an amazing job on, and I have much kudos for her. Going this way, a little fireplace here, a bar, TV. TV doesn't quite fit with the rustic castle-like atmosphere, but I think it looks nice nonetheless. Working refrigerator, steak. Upstairs, we got a couple of little bedrooms here. All of them have the same general look to them. That was my original intention in terms of sizing, but she made them all a little bit unique, slightly different decoration for each one, which I enjoy. I appreciate that. A little bathroom, which I think is nice. A little shower, toilet, kitchen, counter, sink. Neat little place. I don't believe I did much with the next few floors. They're mostly kind of empty. I was going to build maybe like a couple like little library, storage sort of rooms. And on the top, we have a little attic, which I was going to probably put a couple chests in. Actually, forgot to put glass in the windows up here. Oh well, it's ventilated. Well ventilated. Alright. Let's go back down. I'll show you a brief look at my storage setup, as well as the gold farm setup that I have ended up with. So get down this way. I have a little storage room, organized based on what they are. The system that was used mostly in the server is a locking system that contains a button which pushes a piston, which will allow you to access the chest. If the piston's retracted, you can't access the chest. Continue going down this way. Let's speed things up a little bit. It's going to be a long ride. This was a remnant from the PvP days, a double iron door that you couldn't glitch through, for the main purpose of trying to avoid people getting down into here while I'm gold farming. Usually there's a lot of AFKing, waiting for pigmen to spawn, jumping back on for a few minutes, killing everything, collecting gold, making ingots, making blocks. Decent amount of enchanting was done down here. So kill area. Once the villagers changes, we had a nice little donation of a villager that will take rotten flesh. I'm going to take out my pig for a minute. AFK kill area with a drowner, which you will activate by breaking the blocks here, and activating this dispenser, which would release a flow of water. If I can select it, maybe, nope, that's not the dispenser. Couple chests, most of them with enchanted books. This chest has a couple of enchanted looting swords and the like that were made during the whole process of farming. Some anvils there. Let's see if I can't show you the inside of this thing. At least a quick look. Okay. I forgot I had dirt there. There we go. Alright. Beacon here for strength, so that you can get a nice one-hit kill on the pigmen without much issue. You don't waste your materials as much, and I didn't need my pickaxe. Just break this open. My particular farm uses a staggered set of portals, so we have most use of the space. Occasionally, one of them are opened so that the pigmen drop out and have a better flow of them going into the kill area, so they don't have to travel the entire length of the tube. As you can see, there's a decent amount of them dropping down. It's not the fastest gold farm in the server, but it's not the slowest. It's a lot faster than my old one that I had running for quite a while. Now, there's a couple of final things that I would like to show that have been in progress a little bit more recently than most of the rest of the castle. this way. For whatever reason, the trip up always seems a lot shorter than the trip down. I don't know why that is. Psychological, I'm assuming. Whoop. I'm gonna go back out here. Jump off this here cliff into the lake. Now this lake was completely handmade by me. This area was once not quite built up like this. It was a regular island. If I could show you that, that would be nice. Yep, there you go. That was leveled out for the most part, and then had a dirt/grass top put over it. Grass was grown over the top. Considered making this area into mycelium, but I never got around to that. And let's go this way. You can see a lighthouse right there on one side of the castle, as well as a sort of gatehouse entryway and a bridge that connects my town to another town. I'll show you a bit of that, but not the entire distance to it. My dock that I was building, I have a small transport ship that I was working on. This is my most recent project. Crap load of oak logs, bit of oak wood, not quite finished yet. There's no real insides to it, but you get the general idea of what the ship is looking like. Cobblestone on the bottom for the look of some ballast, which is fairly accurate for at least some of the older ships. You'd use a stone cargo to keep the ship upright. In the distance there, you can actually see a bridge going up to the spawn transportation system. I'll be checking that out in a little bit. First, we're going to go this way through the castle wall, up these uncompleted stairs. I have a lot of them, sadly. This little structure here is going to be like a communal well, if only for the look of things. It's an infinite source block of water, made using the E+ design. That's a tower in progress, kind of sort similar to that massive one at the top. Wasn't going to be quite as high, but then connect to various levels of the castle. This is the footprint of one that I have set out. You've probably seen a couple of them scattered around the castle as I've been wandering around it. So this is the gateway/entryway. These would be stalls for horses. This bridge exists on this level for its entirety of its existence. Goes through a couple of mountains, goes close to the ground at a couple of points, but never quite touched it, except going into tunnels. Like I said, it goes to another town, Atlantia. I was originally part of Atlantia at its founding, did a couple little aesthetic design things here and there, but then broke off to make my own Pandemonium. Let's see if I can't show you the lighthouse. I don't think there's access to the top at the moment. Nope, there is. I can show you that. So let's go run this way and go up there. It's mostly for the scenery, a nice little view. Oh, while I'm here, we can go this way. This is another recent addition to the castle, if the doors will let me through. Is a nether portal. Like I said, for the most part, the server has had the nether disabled for its existence, but recently they opened up the nether for a little exploration, resource gathering. See if you could build some interesting stuff down there. I have a castle connected to this. I will not be showing this off, at least not planning to. I've had a lot of problems with overworld mobs spawning from my portal, despite the opposite side of it being completely lit and slabs, so nothing can spawn there. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just how the server's working, or if it's a glitch, or something like that. But it's quite annoying. And we'll go up this staircase in here. Little observation deck. Good overview of what the castle itself looks like. A couple of the bridges. A little nicer view of that bridge there. We will check that out in a little while. The top tower. The drawbridge as uncompleted at the moment. My house. Tree farm. The ship. Transport ship. That other bridge. We got a staircase up to the top. If it will cooperate with me, which is not. Which has a little room. We have the glowstone, which serves as the light source for the lighthouse. It doesn't shine all the way around like a real lighthouse would, but it gives a nice little aesthetic touch to the castle. And go back down the bridge, the staircase. We are over here, and we'll want to go over there next. That'll be probably the last thing I'm going to be showing off, because that's about it. Like I said, it's not a completed build. There's no real interiors. I had a lot of different plans for making interiors, palace rooms, dungeons, a couple of like treasure chest sort of areas, maybe some hidden passageways that people could find. But alas, none of that has come to being. Mostly due to a lack of time and effort on my part, and the boringness of just collecting all these materials, digging out the entire inside of this castle. It was once a mountain that I converted into a castle. As you can see, the world type is amplified. It is pretty neat. I like the look of amplified. It's a pain in the butt to get around in, but you can make some really impressive builds because of that. I believe the current tendency is not to have an amplified map on the next server iteration. We shall see how that works out. Either way, I'm cool with it. I'll find someplace cool to build a town. Now this bridge goes all the way to the spawn rail terminal that is near my castle. That was not a consideration when I was building my castle, but was a cool little extra that I was like, oh hey, I'm right near a spawn terminal. Got an idea to build a bridge there, and the rest is history, as you are seeing. Now the spawn terminal itself is build protected, and while you can build under it, there's basically a sphere that you cannot build in. So this last bit here is finished by one of the server admins, which I thought was very nice of him. He made this nice little pathway going up here to where the terminal ends off. Now terminals are fairly simple. We've got one track going forwards, another track going back to spawn. Put your Minecraft in, press the button, off you go. Now this way, because it is the end of the line, we'll just send you out that way, turn you around, and go back towards spawn. On the inside, there are a number of buttons that you can press to signal that you're going to get off at the next terminal, which will reroute the tracks up into the terminal. Now since this is an end terminal, you're going to be routed that way anyway. On a regular station, it would just be pointing straight ahead. The buttons would cause it to switch over to the right and into the waiting area up there. There you can see another one of the server members' builds who's making a road from one town to another. I don't think that got finished. It doesn't look too finished to me, but oh well. Like I said, since they're going to be taking the server completely down to make a new one, a couple of players have gone fairly inactive, stopped building a couple of things because, well, what's the point? Personally, I enjoy the building aspect of it, even though I know I'm going to be losing it in the end. Let's see if I can get a nice look at the bridge for a parting shot. Once again, this entire build was done in survival. The server is a creative designs sort of server, but everything is in survival. Nice little spawn shop to get things that you really can't otherwise. But yeah, this is Turquoise Dragon, and I am signing off.